technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Oh wow, Ricardo already in and out. See what Goldie's doing right now. So we're down daily 0.25%. Yeah, this could be interesting. This could be interesting over here. I like the way that price is currently at this resistance. I'd actually like to get a sell with that daily being bearish. Daily looks like it's still coming down over here. Just gonna wait and see if I can get like a simple setup. See, stops above here. Could work. Morning, guys. Hope you all are doing well. Thing is, both buys and sells would be valid. Break below support here. Will you still like the sell with a double bottom on the 30-minute and 1 hour, 1.5 hour? Yeah, I would say it's more to do with the daily time frame for me. The sell, but also the buys could play out, you know, if we break above that wick over there. The thing is, I'm not looking too much at that double bottom, because if you start doing that, what's going to happen is you're always going to find a reason that there's a problem with the trade. That's what I usually try and avoid. So for me, I like to focus more on that daily. So we're creating a support. I'll still need a resistance to be formed over there. So that double bottom does create a probability here, an increased probability for a potential long if we can break above these highs. All right. So I just got a candlestick here close. See, maybe we could break above these highs. The daily, let's see what the daily would be doing. All right, I see. But I would much rather prefer, to be honest with you, I would much rather prefer the sell confirmation. I much rather prefer the sell, you know. I'm gonna wait for the sell instead. I think it's a safer play. Just with how the daily has been behaving. But the thing is, like, you see candlesticks already coming down, so I would need this candle here to at least close first. It looks like it's already melting. Hey, good morning, trading. Because at least with this, I can use as a fake out confluence. That would be like a little fake out confluence that I could use. Hopefully it doesn't dump too much. It's quite aggressive already. It looks like he wants to correct the move. Hey, good morning, Vincent. Mr. Rashid. Got Woods in the chat. Morning, everybody. Got Sinella here today. Ellie. Good morning, Ellie. Morning, guys. Trading. Vikram, Luke, Ricardo. Architect in the chat. Too much money. Yeah, true. If you always find a problem, maybe you are the problem, eh? Oh, now that's interesting. Now if this flips up, that will be interesting. Because it's creating like a really big bottom wick over there. Pretty strong push. Let me see what's going on here on the 15. The 30-minute SMA is in our favor. Hourly. That's the Asia. Since the Asia, we've been kind of moving down here. Seeing a lot more selling strength. And I think this also has something to do with the tariffs. We got Trump speaking yesterday. Speaking quite nicely about China. Talking about how the US and China, they made a really fair agreement regarding the tariffs. And they currently have a really good relationship. But, you know, the US military is the best military in the world. We have the best military, but China and the US, we're doing great. 36.5, 37, 38.5. Yeah, so it seems that that's been kind of like a factor driving gold sells of late. Let's see. Apparently he wants to tax the pharmaceutical industry like 200% if they don't get their act right, as he put it, within the next year. Pharmaceuticals coming into America. Yeah, so I think my job right now is just to wait. I'm just to wait and see if there could be anything interesting happening here, really. Because now we started to break. Let's see if we actually... Wow, we might even respect that support. Let me see if we can get a stop over here just in case. 44.2. See, we're going to close that support. Looks like we might actually take that support. Got 5 seconds. What is it going to do? What is it going to do? Okay, it looks like we did close that support. I think on the re-break of the lows, be a pretty good idea for some sells. If it's struggling here by the highs. But we got to wait and see. The buys are also starting to look a little bit more appetizing now. If it doesn't break below that support. Little accumulation here too. Notice this little sideways movement. That's looking quite interesting. You see that little grab? Little liquidity grab over there. But I still need I'll still need some candlesticks to close. All others are 20 years behind us. We are the best. Yeah, exactly. The Donald Trump. But it's good. It's playing the game right. That's how you're meant to play it, though. The other countries understand what he's doing. You must appeal to the masses that way. You gotta say something nice about China, then say something nice about your country. They'll understand. Man, but this is starting to look a little bit choppy over here. 3287.72, right on the spot for the reversal. Reversal? What reversal? Like downwards or upwards? But the way the world is going wouldn't hurt to learn some Mandarin, to be honest. Would be nice to learn some Mandarin. I heard that I heard when Chinese people hear you speak Mandarin, they really have like a respect for you. Because yeah, it's very random. It's a very random thing, I feel. Get a foreigner speaking like fluent Mandarin. I love watching these Americans who do like travel vlogs and they know how to speak these foreign languages so fluently. Everybody's always so surprised. Even like languages like Japanese as well. Although I think Japan is a bit more forward in a way, I guess. The yen has been taking quite a beating of late because of the interest rate hikes. Kind of scaring away foreign investments. So yeah, I'm thinking about that little liquidity grab here. Since we just got a small little liquidity grab situation, looking at a potential schlong. This candlestick closes here bullish because I'm just trying to see where the fake out is. And it seems like you know, we got like two opportunities here for a fake out, but it didn't break the lows. Rather, it could be breaking the highs. All right, got about like 10 seconds here. Candlestick here to close. Create me a support. We got a kiss of death there on the 5-minute as well. Yeah, buy above here will be nice. I'm following this little liquidity grab situation that happened over here, guys. So that's the idea for my trade. I see price now start breaking above key levels of structure, and then should get a move up. Because if it wanted to fake down bearish, you could already have fake down bearish. It had a few opportunities there to already do this. See how big the stops are. Nice. It's a very interesting situation here. I hope it's not just chopping up. You know, it's accumulating right now, but I hope it's not just chopping around. It's a bit early to say. Got in like two fake outs here. We got one here. That was at a resistance. We still rejected that resistance. We did not break these highs, so rather price rolled over and started re-breaking these lows. Right, re-broke these lows, but this next candlestick couldn't move down to re-break the lows to keep pushing down bearish. Instead, it moved upwards. So I'm looking at that then as a reason for why maybe it's just rejecting these lows, that we can break these highs, the price can move up towards resistance. But the thing is, if this candlestick now closes bearish, we're creating a new resistance over here and still respecting this wick. So if we're still respecting that wick and we come back down to take these lows, then I guess then price would have to move down. Very tricky. Don't like the buy. Sells are too SL are too big. What do you mean? It's a buy for me from there. Very tricky. Don't like the buys. Yeah, but the buys, yeah, I think everything's a bit tricky here. Because it's just chopping up and down. You reckon we'll get a retest? A retest of what? This level? Usually with Goldie, I'm not expecting price to retest. I'm expecting a clean move through. If you want to learn some Mandarin, you can say Joshi wo de ying shang. Joshi wo de ying shang. Shisha sha sha. That's how Mandarin sounds to me. There's a lot of like these sh words. Cha sha sha sha. It's not like clear cut, right? Like other languages seem a bit clear cut. Mandarin to me sounds a bit with a lot of SHs. But it's actually a sick language though. It'll be nice to learn it. You see, now it's coming back down. You see, that's quite interesting. It's not breaking the highs. It's not breaking the highs. That would have been the liquidity grab here. Anybody watch that new movie, The Karate Kid? Haven't you got to watching it? Why would you guys rate it? Karate Kid Legends. Now this is really confusing. This is really confusing. What does gold want to do here? What do you want to do, Goldie? At the same time, there are these potential buys above here. Have you taken the trade? Nope. Didn't see it. I think you got a good rating, like maybe a 7. Oh, volume's coming in. Sheesh, what are we doing here, Goldie? It's accumulating. It wants to break out somewhere. Tetra, do you from Bald Eagle country? No idea. That consolidation looks like a logo from a music app. Yeah, it looks like that. What do you even call that? Synth? Trading View music. Listen to all the best hits for binaural beats and full-on concentration. There is no CD for this. You can't get this on CD. What did they used to say on the radio stations? They used to say something like that. You can't get this on CD. Get all the latest hits, the best albums. Sit on your hands? Yes. Man, it's kind of annoying now. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this move, but now I'm not looking forward to it anymore. Because this feels like price is just gonna consolidate. You know, I don't want to get stuck into a move here and then price starts to consolidate. Because look, this is London Open. Seeing that London Open consolidation. Maybe if anything, I'll stick with the sells at this point. I'll stick to the sell because the buy bias is not looking clean anymore. Because it's just too much hesitation. This is where I can trade with the daily trend. Because it seems like it's faking. It looks like it's rejecting the highs over there. Maybe it triggers the sells. So, because you know, we got like a resistance area right over here. It looks like it tried to tap through that resistance a few times, but it couldn't get through it. And it's kind of, I guess, more in line with what's going on with Trump and the tariffs anyway. we are seeing a little bit more of the bearish gold spot. So yeah, I think the sells actually would play out nicely. The buys would have been nice if I could get triggered in a little bit quicker, but I see a little bit of hesitation. I don't like the hesitation. About what we spoke about yesterday, chat, like I don't like hesitation. So I think the sells would have been much more in line with everything else. With the daily, with the fundamentals. Stops above there, should be good. All right. So I got triggered in my sells. Oh, nice. Let's freaking go. Come on, dump it. Dump it, Goldie. Heading towards that 65 mark. Yeah, I think it definitely makes more sense. Yeah, Spartans prepare for war. You got it. You did a bye-bye mistake. Lucky went back to entry. Nice. Could see it melt like yesterday. Sharks ever during FOMC day? Yeah, it's like it's not the real FOMC though. It's not the real FOMC. Sometimes some new stuff comes out of the meeting minutes, but for the most part, I think the FOMC should be in 20 days. I'm not mistaken, something like that. We have about, yeah, 21 days until the next FOMC over there. This is my first trade for the day, you know. I'm still looking to trade again later on. No. Yeah, I mean, like in a situation like this, usually like such pullbacks here, for me, they're kind of like more worrying if I'm going against the volume. But we can see like for the most part, Goldie is completely dumping. This is a price action from the New York session. Yesterday, New York session just completely melted off. We have Asia session over here, also just completely melt off. So, you know, it's all very subjective, these cells. I feel like these cells are very objective. You can show this to a 5-year-old and they'll show you that the chart is currently moving down bearish. So I think, you know, I'm quite happy to be on the side of the sellers nonetheless. Got a pretty valid stop loss above that area as well. So just above this structure, because, you know, like we already tried breaking above these highs. The next time it breaks these highs, it will also be breaking this wick. And if we break that wick, we got clean range on the left-hand side. So it'll probably give like a deeper drawdown. So there won't be any point on holding any trade beyond this point right here. because the drawdown will be a lot more deeper. Yeah, I think we're rejecting resistance, trading with the trend. Got some SMA confluence there as well. Let's see if this range from this area. Oh, but this would be the wick right here. That would be the wick to break. Yeah, that would be the wick to break. I feel the same, but the daily is down. I am feeling a little positive. Daily is down. Oh, yes. The daily still has some room to move as well. It's down 0.32%. But again, this is my trade. You don't have to take this trade. You know, if you don't want to take this trade, if it doesn't make sense to you, then obviously don't take it. This is me just doing my thing here on stream. And this is not my only trade for the day as well. I'm going to be still looking to trade the pre-New York time. Oh, that daily does got quite a bit of room to move down. Just a little bit. Nah. If this trade doesn't play out, I'm probably gonna take a break from the London session for the rest of the week. It might just be a choppy London environment, because I see we're getting a little bit of that choppiness already here. What is it? Oh, it's mid of the week volume as well. Nice. You're sometimes gonna have like these weeks where during the specifically, it could be the London, it could be the New York, but it's like a market cycle, correct? Like sometimes Asia consolidates and then London moves, and then maybe New York consolidates, and then it kind of switches. Sometimes Asia moves, London consolidates, then New York moves. It's like a cycle that, you know, it changes because the market can't stay exactly the same at one spot forever. So if I spot myself in a cycle like that, I usually just take a break from the week from that session. GJ looks like a beautiful range over here, about like 15 pips. It's the same now. I don't know what to do. Looks like a hammer-shaped candle. I'm looking to secure 50% at that support. No. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Good morning. First trade of the day, gold buy. Took partials at 50%, left a runner. Oh, wow. Nice. Gold buy position. See, bottom of the range. 5-minute bullish candle close above support. Break of the previous high. Kiss of death, SMA confluence. 8 SMA crossover. Beautiful. Yeah, you got a really nice SMA confluence for your trade over there. Wait, do I got any? Yeah, I got the 5-minute SMAs. AUD USD pre-London buy swing approach. Accumulation distribution. Nice, beautiful range over here as well. Really nice range. Let me see how big this range was over here. Boom, boom. This is awesome. Kiss of death. Eventually secure partials 85. This is really clean. This is a really clean move. Not a lot of like price waiting on levels and that sort of thing. Just created like a little bit of structure. Started like breakthrough key levels and then moved up. It's really nice. I think that's really awesome. That is really, really awesome. I use that SL because price respected the previous support. That also looks pretty clean as well. This is on the 5-minute. Oh, price is coming up here. What happened to the music? Gotta be careful. Might get stopped out. Am I gonna get stopped out? First trade of the day. First trade of Wednesday. It looks like I'm gonna get stopped out. Oh man, this is just a V-shaped reversal over here. I got a couple ideas why the probability might have reduced a bit more. There's a potential 65% of the range which was hit. A potential 65% of the range before the trade was valid, at least in my eyes. Because if you bring this all the way up here, assuming this was a market fade entry, then it would have tapped right into the 65% mark right over here. If this was just like a market fade of this support area, that price was going to continue to move down. Then that's what it would have hit. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. See what happens. Still with the daily volume. That's a good thing. There's also a shotgun play which already played out over here too. You see candlestick closed below support. Broke of the previous lows. Stops above here. Could have been taking out that shotgun play after it had its initial push over there. Let's see. How big is this candle? It's about 23. Yeah, could have been taking out this shotgun after it had its initial push. And also a top of the 65% mark over there. But, you know, that's why I like trading with the daily. Because, you know, it can always reflip. As long as we're going with the daily volume. Waiting for the sellers to come in. At least I can look at that here as a liquidity grab. So it's taking out some orders up over here. So I'd love to see this thing just completely melt at this point. I still think the sell is good. If this was like a buy position and it was going counter my trend, my trade, obviously that's a much higher probability that you're gonna get stopped out. As opposed to when you're trading with the daily. So yeah, just gotta let it play out. The thing is, like here, I can't yet reduce my stop loss. You know, like price moved up and it moved down over here. I'm in drawdown, so I can't reduce my stop loss. Can't do anything. Can't do anything. Let's see. Price. All right. So we got 5-minute break of the highest. Boom. Consolidate a bit. Into entries. Pushed up. Got our break even, seems. I use that SL because price respected the previous support. SL to BE after that push. But still can't hit 65%. Oh, BE trade for you. Nice. I think that was good. That was a smart move to manage your risk like that. See, clean range, close partials. 8 SMA confluence. Awesome. First trade of the day, swing entry. Let's see. Oh, that's a nice accumulation breakout over here. It's quite an obvious one as well. You can see it move sideways. I started to break below it. So it should be in a small little distribution over there. $2W1L got it back 1% up. Nice. Sniper entry. Miss a consolidation breakout. But caught your falling knife setup. Second trade. Should have waited for the candle to close first, but pretty nice trade. Though 65% down for the day. Nice. Yeah, that was a buy from yesterday. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we're still pushing up. Good thing this hourly and the 30 minutes in our favor. Yeah, I got 13 minutes for the hourly closure. To get through that, some hourly support levels over there. It kind of looks like it's trying to pull up, correct? Like the buyers are trying to pull up. They failed doing it once over here. You saw how we had that liquidity grab here and price pushed upwards. Then it was like, oh man, that's not enough orders for me. And then it's come down here and it's trying to push upwards again. And then it's like facing some sort of like really strong resistance over here. But it looks like it's trying to build a case to move upwards with all of this selling pressure. Because, you know, that was the initial reason I wanted to take a buy here was because of this grab. But it didn't break the highs. Then it came back down again. And it's reflipping. So it's kind of, it's a bit funny why it's like doing that multiple times. It's really trying to break above these highs. It's going against what the, I guess what the market is currently doing, which is currently selling off. What do you usually do after a big win? After a big win, I do the same exact thing I do after a loss. I say that was an awesome trade, and then I'm going to move over to the next trade. So I have zero emotions, you know, like the difference between me and like somebody who's still learning to trade, still learning a craft is a trade like this is going to affect them more. You know, this doesn't affect me. After this trade, I'm going to say awesome trade, whether it's a winning trade or a losing trade, and then I'm going to go to the next session. Because, you know, we have to think about it in terms of like, we got to think trading in terms of just hitting, just doing the same thing over and over again. You know, I take like 1 or 2 trades a day and, you know, that's it. That's it. On to the next trade. See, now it's pushing up over here. I want to monitor how the 1 minute here is closing up, but like, usually what I like to do sometimes, if I see the 1 minute's about to close, maybe I'll give it a little bit of room over here. Because you can get the next 1 minute open up and then it dumps. Let's see. It's back at that level where it dropped down again. Creating lower highs and lower lows right now. No. Oh, it's got a kiss of death on this 5 minute. See what the 1 minute is doing? Oh, I got about 2 seconds. Slowly creeping up. Oh. Stop loss hit. Damn. Stop loss hit. How much did I lose over here? Oh, that's not bad. 650 bucks. Let's see. That by 50. Yeah, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. I thought it was gonna be more. That's about a, wait, let's see over here. Negative 1.3%. Gold sell. This was at 3:31 a.m. What's the date? 9th. And we got 54, 144. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my risk off the London session now. Because I've seen this week we're getting a lot of these choppiness. This choppiness during the London time, I don't like this choppiness. I think I'm gonna take risk-free off the London session now. I lost $6. Yeah, I lost 600. But that's fine. I'll make it back. Crazy swings though. Let's see if it actually fills this range here on the left-hand side now. Or if it's gonna fake this area out as well. It's got some room here. It's still got some room there to move. I got a few reasons why this could have reduced the probability to keep pushing down off that 65% area over there being hit. But yeah, I thought, you know, the daily was bearish. We could keep moving down here with the tariffs as well. Let's actually go through the news and see what's happening here. Gold holds losses. Gold hovered around 3,300 per ounce on Wednesday, holding a more than 1% loss in the previous session as tempered Federal Reserve dovish outlook offset concerns over renewed trade tensions. See, President Donald Trump ruled out further extensions to the August 1st tariffs and announced broader new measures, including a 50% tariff on copper imports, potential 200% duties on pharmaceuticals. Yeah, this is what I saw him speaking about yesterday. And a 10% levy on goods from the BRICS countries. Meanwhile, expectations for July rate cut by the Feds were scaled back after a robust U.S. jobs report. Ease fears and slowing economy. Let's see. Additionally, the tariffs are expected to boost U.S. inflation in coming months, limiting the outlook for further rate cuts. Okay, so you see, we're limiting the outlook for further rate cuts as well. So yeah, I think this is pretty. It's pretty like it sounds pretty bearish for Goldie. Investors now await release of June FOMC meeting minutes for more insights into Fed policy stance. I wonder if enough has happened already that this FOMC meeting minutes is gonna bring in some new insights. But I feel like with what Trump has been saying of late, I think this could actually bring in some new insights, definitely for the meeting minutes, just based off what Trump was on about here. But I don't expect it to be anything that can really shift direction of the market though. Let's see, investors are searching for the next gold. Don't get burned. Gold strength is drawing new investors into buying other precious metals. But be warned, not all that glitters is grand. See, the uncertain macroeconomic environment and rising government debt the past few years have made gold attractive, with 24% annualized 3-year price return. Yeah, I mean, like, also at the same time, you know, gold price is pretty decent, but it's ranging. It's a pretty fair price gold, like on the HDF. To a lot of people, gold strength is a signal that hard assets are in vogue, and therefore in a rising gold environment, other precious metals should rise. How's silver doing? See, all right, but investors shouldn't think that silver, platinum, and palladium, whatever that is, are just a wider shade of gold. Each metal is guided by its own supply and demand. Yeah, no, 100%. Man, I think gold is just always going to be the instrument that institutions are going to be willing to buy for the longer duration. I don't know if this would even still be valid. Let me see how big the stop would be. Stop below here, range here. Oh yeah, it actually would. It actually would be valid. Now it's heading up towards resistance over here. This is by 32.96. So I think, you know, if price can stop breaking above resistance over here, we could probably see price continue to move up, and it's going to fill this range on the left-hand side. That's about like, you know, 47 pips. Previous 4-hour low not broken yet. No rate cut soon as Trump about to impose new tariff. I think like we're going to get a true structural change on the day here if we can break above this 5-minute resistance. Because this is still an area that, you know, price can break this high and then fill this range here a little bit. Let me see how much of this range has been filled from here to here. Yeah, I would just expect it to play around this range here for a bit. But I think this would be the key area if we can break and respect above, you know, 32.97 over here. Then price can move up. I missed that loss, thank God, but that trade looked good. Yeah, it looked good. It looked good. I think it was a nice trade. See if any consolidation breaks. Yeah, this is something I've been noticing a lot with the London. It's the follow throughs are very difficult. It just seems to be pulling back every time. So yeah, so I think that's why I've been having a better performance here with my other plays. This one's getting a lot of drawdown of late, so I think I'm gonna avoid it for the rest of the week. Because I wanted to try end off this week with at least like 20%. So I'm gonna cut this off. This is a low probability playbook entry for now. And I'm gonna focus on what's working over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But today we only have the FOMC meeting minutes. Tomorrow we have unemployment claims. Friday we have nothing. We got GDP on Friday, unemployment claims tomorrow, and FOMC meeting minutes today. So that's going to be at 2 p.m. That's really far along, so I'm not going to be worried about this. Got plenty of time before this comes out as well. Oh, what the heck is gold doing over here? So now it's faking above resistance. Holy. Now the sellers decided to come in. This candlestick here is like, what, 36 pips? Insane. Now the sellers are coming in. Rejection VWAP. Gold come back to entry. Where was your stop loss? All live you lost? Yes. That's true, Ali. That's true. Don't do what I do. The CCI flipped a little later than anticipated, damn. Yeah, this is just crazy choppiness, Ali. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. You'll be good though. You know, like if you have previous data to go off of, you'll be good. Don't worry about it. Like all you got to do is just keep applying yourself, you know? That's the thing about the market. It's really good at sieving people out. Like usually if you're too hard on yourself, then you're going to make trading a very unpleasant experience, you know, if you're too hard on yourself. Because every day is going to be a reason. You know, it's very different from a lot of other things. When you work a 9-to-5 job, you know, like every day can be a bit more consistent. But in trading, every day is an opportunity for you to play a victim, you know. So it can be a very bipolar career that you can have. Because every day, you know, either you're going to win a trade or you're going to lose a trade. And that's going to affect your emotions. And like if you're just working a regular 9-to-5, you kind of have more of like a steady expectation of your day. A little bit more, maybe a little bit more control over your emotions as well. But man, in trading, you really have to focus on that negativity, you know, when you get negative emotions, to not let that affect your mental, because that's going to in turn affect your trading and profitability. Gold has been chopping a lot. Yes, that's true. It's been chopping a lot. So I'm trying to look at this from a very objective way. You know, I'm trying to look and see, could I have done anything different? You know, sometimes the only different thing you could have done is to not take a trade. There's no other way that you could have gotten a successful trade, but the only thing sometimes you got to do is not trade. You know, it's not always about saying where could have been a winning trade, but it's also like, where could you have not taken a trade? Anticipating anything? Right now, I'm kind of like just looking at markets and seeing that everything here is indecisive, you know, like, first of all, when we first came onto stream, we got a bit of barcoding over here. A little bit of indecisiveness, breaking the lows, breaking the highs, back to breaking the lows, back to breaking the highs, back to breaking... You know what I mean? Like, it's breaking structure, but it's not giving follow-throughs. So you got one break here, you got one break here. Look at this. It broke, came back up. Broke the highs, came back down. Broke the lows, came back up. Broke the highs, came back down. So that's kind of like the market environment I'm looking at right now. I got out of BE during the pre-London session. Nice. I think he wants to go down later on, but hasn't got enough strength to do it yet. Yeah, I think that's what it is, you know, like right now price is overall showing that it wants to go down. Like we can see the amount of pressure that's coming in here. You know, yesterday I still wanted to get my buys. I still managed to get some buys yesterday, even though price was a... Wait, let me see this. Oh yeah, this was this area over here. So eventually, like, you know, we ended up just consolidating within this zone. So I ended up getting my buys. I think it was somewhere around here. I can't fully remember. And then, you know, price moved up. Price moved up for a bit. Then it came down. Oh, I think it was right here. Price moved up. And then it came down. It took out these lows. And then it moved up again. And then it came down. It took out these lows. So I feel like there's a bit of like... a little volatility of sorts. It keeps like, you see what I mean? Like it breaks lows, comes back up, re-breaks the lows. It keeps slightly re-breaking the lows. Like it's targeting some positions over there. But yeah, we ended up consolidating for a while. And then overall price dumped. Nice little accumulation play over here too. After breaking these highs. And then price sort of rolled over and then completely melted for the rest of the session. But yeah, this, I think from yesterday, now it was a bit more clear where price was going towards. Because you see, if we take our replay tool here, you can see price had previously moved up. We had that hourly area to correct, that New York time, that New York session from the previous day. But it only became more clear after New York opened, the supply that came into the market. And you know, like that supply has been following through even till today. That Asia session. Look at the Asia dump over here. All right. And now we're just inside of some kind of consolidation. You can see how the wicks here are starting to form. It's going to get a bunch more wicks within this general region. But market's moving sideways for the most part right now. And it's kind of tricky now. Until maybe on the lower time frames, either you can get away with a trade or wait for price to break out of this area. Maybe it's going to come down, maybe it's going to go up, you know, and then it's going to become a bit more clear for you. You won a lot today that you're scared to trade tomorrow? Yeah, I know. I understand that. I understand that psychology. I'm winning a lot here, so I'm wanting to trade more. You know, for me, it's the opposite. When I see I'm up like right now in July, I want to take even more trades. And then I want to see like, okay, so let me look back at my losses and see what can I maybe do differently. You know, and I think so far I've been executing the plan. I think the only thing I can do differently is just not trade the London, because the London has been really choppy. I'm kind of like forcing issues a bit here, to be honest with you guys. I want to take a trade for stream 2. I'm not gonna lie. I want to take a straight trade for stream 2. But it's okay. I'm going to make it back. It's a business expense. You know, whenever I think about these kind of moves that I'm doing because I'm streaming as well, it's like a business expense, you know? It's like a business expense. So hopefully I can provide some education for a move. But if I lose it, you know, it's okay. It's fine. My DAX trade is flying up. Oh, nice. Very nice. Already recovered my loss. Down for today? No, I'm not down for today because I still think price can move. It's still quite early in the day, but I do like the size of this range. This range is like, you know, 130 pips. So I think it's a pretty nice range to get like maybe some couple moves in here. I just want to see it clear up a little bit more. Got a bunch of wicks, a lot of sideways movement as well. It's messing around, accumulating now to break yesterday's lows. If we can re-break these lows, we got about 120 pips or so down towards the daily support area. So that would be nice. Maybe I'm going to look at consolidation breakouts next week. Maybe we can go into a streak of consolidation plays, because I usually switch it based off of what I see is performing the best. If you guys notice here are my stats. So if I notice shotgun play is good, I'm probably going to use some shotgun plays. If I notice the consolidations are good, can stick with the consolidations. So how long have we been doing the swings for? Let's see. We started the swings in... was March. Swing entry in March. The end of March. April, May, June. So let's say like 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months. Swing entries. How do I know when to change it up? Just when I realized that, for example, you know, the idea behind the swing entries is it works beautifully when there's a lot of volume in the market, you know, when markets are very directional. So if I see the market's not as directional right now, maybe I choose to not use them. You see what I mean? Like, it's been ranging a lot. So I can even see on the higher time frames, like, not getting the follow-throughs that I really want. Although some of y'all are actually managing to catch some really nice trades, these are outside the times that I'm trading. And also this is a different pair. This is AUD USD. So when I notice some small things like this, like them not playing out well or lack of volume for them to play out, because the stop losses are kind of wide, correct? Then I would not trade that. If that was a consolidation breakout, I would have already secured my profit on it. Oh, we got space here, the wizard of trading. Mr. Smart Money. What is this? What are you using for? Oh, this looks like TradingView. That's a TradingView news. I see you got Reuters on there. Bro, how do you get all the way up here? Where's the ladder, sir? We want to see the ladder. London, Tokyo. Nice. Let's see. Key 90-day pause on Trump's tariff expires July 9th. Exactly today it expires. Wow, yeah, we got July 9th over here. That 90 days already over? Positive extensions or new boom, boom, boom. US Fed minutes July 9th. Wow, bro, you're really putting in the work. This is impressive. This is very impressive. Wouldn't it be easier to put this on like a Notion though, like on your computer? Yeah, it's still pretty nice. This looks like you're gearing up for a big trade. It looks like you're waiting to take like a big risk, you know, maybe 5%, 10%, something like that. You're waiting for like a really nice confluence move. Let's go, sir. Let's go. Or if you're just trading the higher time frames, which I think you do. Yeah, so you really need that directional confirmation. Gold long trade from 1 hour OB, volume profile confirmation. Gold creating potential head and shoulders on the 5-minute. Yeah, we got potential head and shoulders there. All right, chat. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's at least monitor how the accumulation breaks out playing out during London. Nice little inverted here. Inverted head and shoulders on the 1 minute. Correcting this dump right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break above the structural point over here. Low accumulation, fake out confluence. Price to move up, fill that range. See, that's why I mean, like, you gotta investigate the lower time frames. Because you can see the higher time frames are not moving anywhere. Very difficult to catch it on the higher time frames. So we gotta investigate the lower time frames. Because these moves are happening more like you can have a better chance of catching these moves on the LTF. What are your SMA settings? I use a 50 and the 8. Kiss of death on the 1 hour. Oh yeah, man, we got the kiss of death over here. Where did we take this trade? Oh, we took this trade at 330, 331. The hourly went all the way up and then it still came down to close bearish. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. The hourly still moved up, taking these highs, and then it still closed bearish on that candlestick. Because this was a candle that I took a sell on. Then price moved down like this. Then it moved up. And then it still managed to close bearish. Gold creating potential head and shoulders 5 minute. Just sideways at the moment. Yeah, just waiting here. Now it's just waiting. Let's see what the currency strength meter is saying for the day. Should have a strong dollar. Looks like it's neutral. Maybe it's a little bit more strong, but overall kind of neutral. Pound is bullish. See, pound is up. How much is pound up? 0.18%. Gold is down 0.36. Yeah, it's kind of neutral. 0.36. It's not really trending, but if you're just taking into consideration the previous day's price action, it looks like a lot more like a trend, but it's not heavily trending. It's not heavily trending. It's like the broker knows where your SL is and hits SL and comes down. It's not the broker who's moving the market. It's just the market itself. The broker, you know, if you saw this on your broker, then yeah, you can say that this is the broker. And maybe if this did not exist on TradingView, then you could say that was like a liquid. Sometimes it happens, like sometimes we've gotten like some people send in their charts of the brokers doing something like that on Discord, where you're gonna have a wick like this, but that wick didn't really happen. Like price never really went to this point. So yeah, you got the market over here. That's just the way the market moves. Actually, you know, the broker doesn't even need to do that because the market will already do it for the broker. You know what I mean? The brokers get in trades as well to try and move price. The broker doesn't need to move price. They can, if they want, they can just artificially do it. You know, they can just artificially make like, ooh, gonna see like a big wick over there, but they don't need to move the market. It's all technical, right? It's a technical thing. So they can just make that happen if they wanted to. Then they can say maybe, you know, it's spread or some kind of liquidity provider glitch or something like that. But that's if they're a really shady broker. You know what I mean? Like usually brokers should never do that. I never catch IC Markets doing that, for example. My broker. So, yep. If you got like a shady broker, then yeah, that could happen to you potentially. A game full of sharks? Indeed. Indeed it is. That's why you mustn't take anything too hard, you know? Just take it easy. Take it easy. You know, the thing is you mustn't give a lot of thought and energy to things that you can't control. Only to things that you can control. You know, because if it's out of your control, you're just gonna go crazy. I'm thinking about it too much. So just control what you can control and that's it. Just keep it moving. Some losses you can lose less. Some losses you can't lose less. And it's just the name of the game, correct? All of us, especially if you've been trading for, you know, quite some time now, you already kind of understand that some things it's like out of your control. As much as you want to control, there's always going to be, like when you start doing your back testing, and there's always going to be like a paradoxical effect. So if you're trying to avoid something, you're going to say, okay, let me back test and see. Let me see if I can do the opposite of what Vic is doing over here. Maybe then I'll be profitable. Then you're going to start doing that, do that back testing, and then you're going to realize, oh, okay, so this month I would have actually been in negative, and this month I would have been in negative. Oh, but this month I would have been in positive. You know, and so that's when you start gathering that data up like this. For a longer duration, you're going to start, it's going to do your head in. It's going to do your head in when you're trying to outsmart the market, basically. You get stuck in this never-ending loop. But look at this, price is coming down here. Nice, price is still coming down here. Oh, damn. So, man, now this makes me feel like I definitely could not have controlled this. If price had moved up like this, when I took a sell over here, I was not expecting, if price was to move down, that it would come up first and take out these highs to move down. You know, I think that would be outsmarting the market. So I'd be basically speculating that the market would do this. This would be my imagination, that price would do this and then come down. But this would have been very hard to catch over there. Very hard. Let me see on the 1 minute. 1 minute. We got resistance, resistance. Yeah, I don't... That would have been very difficult for me to catch, even on the 1 minute. But nice. Price moved down over here. So I think, you know, that's pretty good. Liquidity grab? Yes. That's all that was. It was just a liquidity grab. Do you think your entry was a liquidity grab before the real move? You know, I initially thought this would have been it right here. Right? And then it came up to take out the sellers. But then look at this. The market came down again. It came down again and it did it here again. So, you know, the thing about trading is you eventually have to execute. You can't always just keep thinking like, oh, okay, so this is a liquidity grab. All right, so this is the next liquidity grab. And then maybe there could be one more here. You can't always just keep doing that. You eventually have to take the trade. That's why some people ask, like, how can you avoid liquidity grabs? You can avoid by just reading basic price action and looking for areas to break. You can avoid most of them that way. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to execute. You know, you are going to have to take the trade. So you can't avoid all of them. That's actually quite a difficult one because there was one here. Break of the lows. And we're just reading structure. This is not based off the strategy. This is based off of a structure when I'm drawing this. Because I can see like the key levels here. Where we had like some clean ranges. And I can see the pullbacks. And the wicks that it's breaking. You see we got one wick here. Then it came down. It took out the lows. It came back upwards. You see how I took out these highs? This is based off structure, not a strategy. So you can basically get a better read on what price is doing. So just put yourself in the shoes of the market. Like if you are tasked of the job to get liquidity without moving too much, where would that liquidity be lying? And then you're going to be able to see it here on the chart. Asia low sweep. Yeah, that's taking out the Asia lows. It's by 32.84. Asia lows are getting swept here. I mean to re-enter. You saw it when it rejected. You could tell it will go down, but you did enter. Yeah, that's just based from discipline. Because, you know, that was an initial thought that I had in year one of trading was maybe I can just re-enter after the liquidity grabs. But then I started gathering that data for myself and I noticed over a period of time, sometimes the market does like a double doozy, right? It did it yesterday. I can show you an example of this from yesterday as well. So, you know, let's say that you took a buy here, yeah? Let's say you took a buy here and you got stopped out. That's quite obvious. It looks like a liquidity grab, right? Because it's a pretty big wick and it reflipped back upwards over here. So this is based off just structure, right, guys? So this is not a strategy thing. This is structure. Because usually candlesticks don't really behave like that unless it's, you know, cooking up something. For some other people, this could be a confluence for a liquidity grab as well to move up. But you see, price came back upwards and then you'll be saying, oh man, you know, I got stopped out over here. Let me give it a second chance. And then it tricks you. It tricks you into getting back in. Then you get stopped out twice. Then you say, oh man, okay, you know what? Let me give it a third chance over here. And look what happens. It tricks you again because it still took out these lows. Even if you had your stops right over here, you would not have gotten the pushes that you want. And it still takes out these lows. You understand? So, you know, these are things that like when you trade for a while and you're actively trying to get better, you start to realize that there's certain things in the market like you can't avoid. But usually in hindsight, when you see something play out, that's when it becomes obvious. You know, that's when we have the market makers in the chat. That's when we have the market makers in the chat. When you say, oh man, that's so obvious, bro. You could have done this instead. I'm like, wow, Bran. Like you need to have that data. You can't speak via opinions. You need to have data because I've been there. I've been through that opinion road. And I've seen and I've just showed you guys what happens when you have your own opinions. Because that's basically you fighting the market, you know? Giving too many second chances and that sort of thing. It's you revenge trading and you're trying to fight the market. You take a loss, damn. Take another loss, damn. You take the next trade and it's a winning trade. You just want to pray. You just want to thank God that you didn't lose a third trade. But you see that in the long term is going to create like a lot of psychological stress. That's why for me, if I take a losing trade, I'm just going to call it a session. And then I'm going to come back the next session. You know, I find that's the best way that I'm able to manage my emotions these years. Because I've been down that road. I've been down the revenge trading road and trying to outsmart and end the day back positive through revenge trading. And it's not good. It's exhausting. And you also get tired of journaling, you know? You don't want to journal your revenge trades. Usually first trade you can journal, second trade, whatever, but you don't want to journal revenge trades. I was on the tip of reversal, but from full greed, I set SL to BE before 10 pips. Too many emotions to handle. Yes. A lot of emotions. But they actually say women should be better traders than men, because women are much better with their money, you know? They're less emotional, like in terms of the ego. So they can make better decisions with money. So I remember my girlfriend always used to have money. I never used to have money. I would always spend my money on dumb shit. She always used to have money. Women are just always better with money, you know? Men, we have too much of an ego. Always trying to be right. First hour trade, I closed 50% from shotgun up 1 minute. Close at SL. The rest of them, I see the setup, sold it, and greedy moved to SL to BE. Oh, man. Yeah, now I see it. But you got a tight stop loss. So for you, man, like if this was your stop, imagine if your stop loss was up here and it pushed down like this. That would already be like a, wouldn't that be like a 1-to-1? That would be like a 1-to-1 over here. Or depending on where your SL was. Yeah, I had like 10 pips SL from entry. Ooh, yeah, but if you waited just a little bit longer. Oh, man. You know, even if you write this whole thing down, this one candle here, that's like 39 pips. Yes, that's a nice thing about tight stops, though. I'm thinking about using tight stops. Maybe I'm going to focus more on console breakouts. Yes, ego, we put it above money. That's true. That's true. You know, I love my money so much that I don't want to revenge trade it. You know, some people that have such a big ego for them, like, you ever meet those people who just say stuff like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna throw money at the problem and I don't care how much it costs. Like, that's just the ego talking. But you see, the ego and money, they don't mix. They're not friends. You must respect money. Despite how much you have of it, you must respect it. That's why you have people like Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world. You know, he respects money. Focus on his craft. He doesn't spend it silly. Respect it. Even Elon Musk, you know, Elon Musk cuts his own hair. So, you know, like, there are these things that we do, even with all the money in the world, that we just have some basic, sort of like basic ways of living, you know, which I think is really nice. I have a pretty basic way of living. So that allows me to have the freedom that I want because I don't spend my money on dumb shit. You know, I think that's what true freedom is learning how to respect money and be indifferent from it. Because you can't be a slave. Like, even rappers who get famous, you know, they still become financially struggle even after all the success. Because they never learned what true financial freedom is, which is not becoming a slave to materialistic things. That's what true financial freedom is. That's why you're going to see a lot of these rappers, once they mature and get older, they kind of slow down. You know, they slow down, they focus on investments and that sort of thing. And yeah, but the ones who still focus on money, like Mayweather, you know, Floyd Mayweather, ego and money, they go hand in hand. He's like a brand. He can be in Vegas and he'll show you, oh, you know, I got this watch over here. This watch is $1 million. This watch, you know, I go to the gym with this watch. I got this other watch over here. This is the watch that, you know, I wear to events and whatnot. And then he flaunts it so much that you can see how that is always the downfall of most people. I lost like $420 million in a real estate scam. And it's a different story for everyone else, correct? So just take it easy. Take it easy. Are we going to buy? No, we are not going to buy. We are not going, or I am not going to buy. Because I must protect my capital. I don't see, you know, the only thing here I see is like maybe a potential buy if we can create a bit more structure on the 1 minute, because I see that price came down. Could like fill this range over here. But I don't see any structure right now. But I do like the fact that gold is moving finally. That we're getting away from this general region over here. Starting to distribute down. Have you got to sell, buddy? I heard he owes Saudi money. Yeah, you know, like I think like the thing about social media is just be very careful with social media, because a lot of these people's lives, you don't know what sort of debt that they're in to show you that that lifestyle. So you mustn't feel like you are lagging behind, you know, because that's what trading does. It makes you feel like you're lagging behind. You're just like not good enough because this guy has all of these cars and all this stuff. But don't focus on that, because you never really know the situation that person could be in. And you know, this is something that I've learned over the years as a Grandpa Vic. I've learned a lot of these people that I really looked up to and I wish my life was like theirs. Now I look at their life and I'm so happy my life is not like theirs, because a lot of things, you know, they come out with time. There's sort of things that some people do. Obviously, I'm not going to mention any names, quite a few of them, but it catches up to you. It catches up to you. It looks good on the outside, but man, it's not worth it. So you must be very respectful of money, you know. Like I always said, when I start showing more lifestyle, I'm gonna do it if it's driven by passive income, not earned income. And trading is a lot of earned income. Diddy? Not even Diddy. I'm talking about traders. Because that was like, I think that's a psychological thing that we deal with in the beginning. It's like trying to catch up really quickly, you know, try to get to Rolls Royce status very, very fast. But it takes time, you know, like some of my mentors, it took them about like 10 years to finally have a Rolls Royce parked outside of their house. You know, it took them like 10 years. They've been doing it for a long time. Some of the other people, you don't know if that's daddy's money or whose money it could be. You know, you have to be a bit more cautious. Some people come from wealthy backgrounds and, you know, what you're seeing is not what your reality is going to be. So it takes time. I've been trading for at least like 5 years. I still don't have a Rolls Royce parked outside my house. I mean, I could probably get a few, but like not a Rolls Royce, but it will put me in debt, to be honestly speaking. It will put me in debt. It's too much money for a car. Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know. And that's me only 5 years into my trading journey. So that's why I'm taking time. In the next 5 years, hopefully I can be at the stage my mentors were at. But don't rush the journey. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't rush the journey. Throwing shade at Daddy's Lambo Raul? No. Son, you're throwing shade. You mentioned that name. I did not mention no names. You know, I'm talking about generally speaking. I'm also looking at this 1 minute over here. I'm talking about generally speaking, sir. You know, keep in mind, like, I do love that guy's trading. I do love that guy's trading. But since you have mentioned somebody's name, then yeah, I mean, obviously, when your dad owns a whole fleet of supercars, you can obviously show something happening overnight, correct? Because I remember that guy, he was during the scene when I was still learning how to trade. The first car he ever got was, I think it was like a Porsche 911 or something like that. And he was not as confident as people see him today. He was a very introverted type of guy. But obviously now he's on a different level. Bugattis, private jets. But anyway, let me not say anything more than that. I think the ones who are listening to what I'm saying are gonna understand the value I'm trying to provide, and they're not gonna think I'm throwing shade. I'm actually trying to help you. I'm trying to help your psychology, but it is okay. Because it can be demotivating. And I'm looking at this little bit of a breakout situation that was happening over here. It would be nice. This is something I'm thinking about, like just executing on, like these little consolidation breakouts instead. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. This is what I want to execute on. This is something I've been noticing. Like these have been playing out beautifully for me. So I think I'm just going to stick with these. Price coming down over here. Let's freaking go. Yeah, chat. Yeah, chat. Yeah, chat. You can't help other people that don't want to be helped. Yes, that's true. That's true. Because I know the psychology. I've been through it as well. Like in the beginning, man, when you're really trying to make it, you're looking at all of these people and you're like, damn, why am I not yet at that level? But I've come to realize over the years, it's not worth it. Like even if you look at the likes of people like Samuel Anuha, right? Literally everybody looks up to this guy for drop shipping, and then look at what recently happened. And there's so many stories. I just don't want to like throw names out there, but I just want to get the point across. Like, stay on your lane. Don't try rush the process. But this was a nice freaking dump. Yeah, I might be changing it. I might be changing it back to the consolidation plays for let's see, possibly for the rest of July. We got about 1, 2, 3 more weeks. Like 3 more weeks. Is having a YouTube channel passive income if you're doing something that you enjoy and would do it even without the YT channel? Like passive income? Yeah, I think it can be like passive income. That's true. Like some videos can actually start to pick up after a while. And it kind of generates. But from my experience on YouTube, I haven't had videos like generate that much views. So I haven't yet experienced the passive income thing. It's more of like earned income still. But it can be like if you think about a YouTube channel, it's like an investment, It's like an investment, and you have your analytics and everything, and over time it can make money. Like some videos maybe make you like $5,000 if you get, let's say, a couple 100,000 views, and it could just randomly blow up. It could take a year, even 2 years, 3 years. Some videos blow up in like 10 years. So it's kind of like passive income, but it's quite slow. So you always got to make videos. I think if you're much younger, it feels more like a passive income thing. Just the way like child stars, like the kid from Home Alone. Kid from Home Alone, if you ask him about the movies he made when he was younger, he can say something like, it doesn't even feel like it was him who put in the work. Because like when you're still young, it feels like passive. So you find these child stars, they're still benefiting off the movies they made when they were kids, but they can't really recall even putting in the work to make that movie. So I guess, yeah, it's different as well. I heard someone is in buys. No buy confirmations here. I thought maybe a buy if this area would have been broken above. If you could have gotten this candle over here to start to re-break the highs, then we could have maybe seen some buys to correct this range. But instead it broke below the lows. I was hoping that was going to have a fake out on the 1 minute and go up. Oh, here? Yeah. I still think it's nice because of the bearish momentum. You can see the sellers are really coming in quite heavy. That's what I like about it. Why start a political party when you're already the richest man in the world, smarter than most too? Are you talking about Elon? I like the way I think Trump low-key passive aggressively told Elon that he could lose his US citizenship. He was like, he could lose a lot more than that. Elon could lose a lot more than that. Yeah, but I don't know, like Elon is, you know, the thing about these people is they focus more on their craft. You know, you have to be obsessed with the craft. It doesn't matter if he's the world's richest person. You know, the only reason he's the world's richest person is because of the character that he has built for himself. You know, he would not be able to make even that money if he was not the kind of person to always try and like push boundaries, take it to the next level. And, you know, at some point it becomes less about the money and more just about a way of living that you're too used to. That's why, you know, like some politicians, it takes them even up to like 60s, 70s to retire because, you know, that's all they know is the political game. If they're not doing politics, then they feel like they don't have a purpose. So it's not about the money. The money is always a passive thing, you know. Like even when I come onto the charts, I take my trades. I don't think about the money. The money is a passive thing. If I make it at the end of the month, I make it. If I don't, you know, I keep trying to get better, and that's what I focus on. But too much of the time, people are too focused on like, oh man, I need to make this $100 right over here. I need this trade to play out. But this is just one of so many trades you're gonna take in your lifetime, you know, in the month. And if you can keep zooming out, actually, you know, that would be quite an interesting picture. If you have like a whole board like this and you can keep zooming out. So this will just be like the amount of trades that you're going to take. And then you see it has less meaning. Like these smaller trades that you're taking on a day-to-day basis. They're just giving you opportunities to learn, but it has less meaning. It's kind of like if you start zooming out from our planet Earth and you keep zooming out into space, you got to realize these small problems, your little angry $50 account or whatever much you've lost today, it has zero meaning. You're but just a speck in the universe, you know, and your trades are just but a speck in your career that you're going to be trading for the next, you know, 10 years, 20 years. You know, that's why someone asked me, what do I do after a winning trade? That's why I say I do the same thing after a losing trade. I say that was an awesome trade and I move on to the next trade. Because why would I judge my whole career or everything that I built on one single moment that happens right there? You know, provided that you manage your risk, I think it's really good. But the problem with traders is this moment, it can be a very big moment if you don't manage your risk. You know, let's say you've been working so hard for a long time and then you blow an account, for example, you know, because you revenge traded. Man, this moment, it can bring down all the work that you previously did. Correct? All this work previously did, you can bring it down. All in one day. And that's the thing, you lose trust. You lose trust. Even if you're working at as let's say a bank, and you make a mistake like this, it doesn't matter how good your whole record was, you lose trust. Nobody is going to want to hire you to trade their funds anymore. Because that has shown to them that you don't have the ability to control emotions. Correct? So that's kind of like the only thing you have to avoid in trading, which is not that bad. Just avoid like doing a really dumb shit thing. And it happens to people. It happens a lot more than you think. Like even for the people at the top of their game. Now, one day they're just going to do something crazy. I think it probably comes out of boredom, probably, or greed. But yeah, once you start thinking about trading like this, man, you get very less emotional about your moves. Oh, look at this. Now this move is moving up. Now this trade is playing out. So this would have been the fake out that Luke was looking for. But it happened quite, yeah, this is quite a big one. V-shape reversal. Would you say that fake out is or a move done? Oh, this? Yeah, I think the move was done. That tapped like about like 16 pips. It was about like 16 pips. Let's see how this one moved up. Like 15. That one is still in distribution, but yeah, that's if you're looking at that from the fake out perspective. That price can break the highs and then keep moving up. Told ya. If he loses his citizenship, another country will benefit off his tax. US would be stupid to do that. But that would suck because he's gonna lose that. I don't know what that means for his businesses, you know. Have you all seen that Tesla factory? That thing is huge. Like if you drive past it, it's like freaking long. So what happens to all that his businesses, all his businesses? But yeah, it's crazy. Imagine that, man. Like if Elon Musk would just go back to his country, he could make such a big difference, right? The guy's from South Africa, you know. So, man, with Elon Musk's money, if he goes back to South Africa, then, yo, imagine the change that guy could make. You make a huge change. So, yeah, it begs the question, why stay in America, you know? But I think he's just at such a high point of his career and, you know, his trajectory that I think for him going back would be like moving backwards. But it's not very patriotic for him to abandon, I guess, his country like that. But anyway, you know, what can you do? Can't do anything. Most people who have money don't really make the changes that we would like them to make. Inzar would blow. Yeah, imagine. Could he even keep his money in a South African bank account? I don't think he could. That would be, I think that would be really dumb. You would probably have to go and find overseas, somewhere, maybe Switzerland or something, you know, or maybe just keep the setup he already has going on. I don't know. But I would not trust my money in a South African bank account if I was Elon Musk level rich. He could not even withdraw his money. I'm sure even today, if he wanted to withdraw his money, there's no bank which could give him his money. So it's a whole different level of rich. You're so rich that you can't even withdraw your money. You just have to somehow use it up. You've broken the game. The game does not work anymore. Oh man, this is a beautiful distribution over here. Crypto, he would move the crypto market. That's what he did with Bitcoin. He pumped Bitcoin and then he told people on social media about it, and then that's when he was getting out, because he needed liquidity to get out, because he couldn't get out if people were not buying crypto. So he got in early, he pumped it, and then he dumped it. But I don't think people saw this. Yeah, so it's like a whole different realm. I tell you, like these guys live in and operate in a whole different realm. Remember the pump in Dogecoin? Dun, 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 dun. I'm from South Africa and I don't think he wants to do business here. It's way too corrupt. It could be corruption. It also could be on he could have a lot more challenges, you know, like if we're talking about worldwide, you know, he's more of a worldwide player. So I think doing business in SA would give him limitations. It's the same reason why third world countries have limitations. I think it goes a lot deeper than just having access to money. It's like other restrictions. And it's the reason why richer countries are able to remain rich. You know, they kind of design it in a way that makes it difficult. So I think he would not be able to operate the same way in SA, for example. There's probably like a barrier over there. Man, there's a lot of problems that come with money. Like once you start earning a lot of money, you start to realize that's not always the answer. There's a bunch more other things that come into play. Got a bit of slip getting in, but I got that 1 minute. Nice. Yeah, I'm monitoring the 1 minute. I want to see how 1 minutes are behaving here. Might start executing on them on stream. South Africa is not a third world country, bro. What is it then? A first world country? I don't think so. Okay, Google it. We don't even have to Google it, but let's see what it says. While South Africa is also often described as a third world country due to its socioeconomic challenges, it's more accurately classified as a developing. I mean, developing country is also another way of saying third world country. And developed country is a way of saying first world country. Yeah, it's a developing country. But a lot of third world countries are developing countries. Emerging country. Super fast world country. Do you think FOMC minutes has any effect on that day's price action? Yeah, I think so. It possibly could. We're down now 0.50%. So price is gradually moving down. Yeah, exactly. It's a politically correct terminology. Exactly. I remember learning this in school. Developing countries. What's China? China should be a first world country, but I remember something about it still being classified as a developing country, but it should be a third world country. China, let's see, is China a first world country? No, China is typically considered a first world country, though it's complex case. While China has experienced rapid economic growth and technological advancements, it is still officially classified as a developing nation. Yeah, the term, yeah, exactly. The term first world is outdated and often refers to highly industrialized, capitalized countries, primarily the US and its allies. During the Cold War, China during that period was part of the Second World, along with the Soviet Union. Like calling fat people a bigger structure, not fat. Oh, what? No, I think what do they call him? Like a fun size. It's a fun size. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I struggle with that as well. I do struggle with that as well, just because I'm not a snowflake. You know, sometimes I got like fat friends, and sometimes I use that word, and I'm like, come on, bro. You know, I can use that word. You know, I don't mean anything by it, but you can see that sometimes it affects people. Like they don't like being called that word, even though they are that word, and even though even though you're friends, you can sense that they don't like being called that word. But you know, it is what it is. You're a skinny guy, you get called a skinny guy, and you know, you are what you are, right? You shouldn't take it personally. Actually, if you take it personally, it means that there's something that you need to work on there. You know, every time that I see myself, I take something personally, I always think like, man, there's something I need to work on there. Like, why has that disturbed me? You know, and then you stop playing the victim. I say, if you're not okay with that, then maybe you should change it. You know, because if you were okay with it and you said, you know, I don't care, I like eating, I like my weight, then don't get offended when people call you fat. You know, embrace it. Embrace it and say, yes, I'm a big guy. I'm a big dude. That's what I look at. That's how I look at it. Like even sometimes, man, sometimes on stream, I could take a losing trade and then I wonder, why did that affect me? You know, why has that affected me here? Then I try and think like, okay, you know, this is an opportunity for me to build my character a bit more. You know, how can I react to this differently the next opportunity that I'm given? It's just a reality, but man take this better than women. I've when I was speaking about it, this was even for a man and a woman. So both of them, I got two friends like that, and they both give the same energy. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Joshua, I'm fat and gearing up to change it in August. Snowflakes need to change if they don't like it. You know, when I came back from Germany, man, I was fat. Like I used to visit my girlfriend in Germany. Like we were in a relationship for quite a long time, like 10 years. So whenever I used to come back from Germany, and I was in school, man, everybody would be like, damn, Vic, you've gotten fat. And I used to embrace it. I actually liked being big at that time because I have a fast metabolism. So I took it as a compliment that I could actually gain weight. But everyone used to tell me, oh man, you know, you got so big. Like my face was already so much more rounder and everything. Because, you know, in Germany, man, we got to eat good. Got to eat all the snacks, all the bakery, like all the food from the bakery. So yeah, it's really nice. And, you know, during the winter time, you're just at home. So you're just eating, snacking, being a couch potato, no real ambitions, no real goals. You're just in school and you're just there to enjoy, correct? So you're just drinking, eating, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I realized losing weight is so easy. At some point, I was like, man, I didn't feel good anymore. So I decided to lose weight. And you know how I did it? I did it with intermittent fasting. So I would not eat the whole day. And towards the end of the day, I would do like HIIT cardio. If you guys know what HIIT cardio is. And then and I also got a fast metabolism, and I quickly lost that weight. It's so much easier to lose weight than it is to gain muscle. Gaining muscle is very difficult. Yeah, when you're young as well, it's easier, but with age it slows down. That's true. That's true. But you know that the reason with gaining weight is just due to your diet. And you know what they say as well, if you want abs are made in the kitchen. They're not made if you're still having very bad eating habits. Abs are made in the kitchen. So for losing fat, man, it's easy. Just like change up your eating, like, and then just do a lot of cardio with fasting. It works amazingly. It worked a bit too good. You know, it worked a bit too good for me. Tough on the knees, but definitely worth the effort. Below 36. High intensity interval training. Yeah, that's true. Like, If you got access to a swimming pool, then you know you can go swimming. You could lose a lot of cardio when you swim. I mean, it's a lot of cardio when you swim. You just can't tell that you're sweating because you're in the water, but it's light on your bones, and it's more effective, I think, than even running or cycling in terms of the amount of energy you burn. Spätzle, yeah, Spätzle made your belly wide. Exactly, Spätzle. I remember that. Spätzle. Got, I think it's Spätzle and is it like applesauce? Tastes really nice. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this Spätzle. That's true. This is really nice. Spätzle and a now I forgot this word, like a cheese pot. Basically you melt cheese and you dip it there with bread. This is the shit right here. Homemade Spätzle. Dun, 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 dun. Curry vest. Yeah, curry vest. It's pretty nice too. Let's see. Yeah, this is some serious throwbacks. Curry vest. I think this was I can't remember where I used to get this. I think this was in the Turkish shops that we would get this. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Damn, 5 pips from entry and reversed. Nah, bro, don't promote being fat. It's not being fat, it's being healthy. Let's see what the 1 minute can cook up here for me. Any trades today from God? No. No trades today. God has not given me a profitable trade today. God told me, I'm going to put you on stream today. I'm going to make you take an L over here. So maybe you can say something nice. I'm a 58-year-old triathlete, and swimming, biking, and run, even though the miles are much lower these days, it's still hard to maintain weight control. I mean, you can do all of that stuff, but if you're not eating properly and you're not using like a strategy, you know, you still have to have a strategy, whether that's going to be intermittent fasting or something. But it all comes down to the diet, right? I mean, I've heard this argument before. You know what my fat friends tell me? My fat friends tell me that it's just their body type. That's what they tell me. I remember they both told me this. They both told me this in different occasions. And I never understood it and I never questioned it. But deep down inside I said, like, how could it be your body type that you're gaining fat? Because fat is designed, like you get it from eating certain foods, from a certain lifestyle. So, you know, it's just like, it says an excuse. I've never heard of being fat being a problem for people, you know, unless you have maybe thyroid. You know what thyroid? Yeah, thyroid is something else. You know, you got to take medication for thyroid and that sort of thing. But maybe the chat can enlighten me, chat. Is there a way that you can be medically fat? That you cannot lose it? Even when you're eating a good diet and working out and fasting that your still body somehow creating that fat? I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant. It can be biology in some cases in the rate of metabolism. Yeah, if you got a slow metabolism, then just work with that slowness to get a diet that maybe, I don't know. You gotta look into it. If you don't eat, you don't get fat. Simple, yes. If you put every fat person on an island and only fed them like one fish a day, they will all lose weight. I don't think there will be one guy who is still getting bigger. Castaway style. I think I lost so much weight for this movie. You know, what's it? Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks, man, Tom Hanks was fat before this movie. You know what Tom Hanks did before this movie? He got really big. He got really big. He was enjoying his food because, you know, like when the movie starts, Tom Hanks is supposed to be this all-American guy, you know, eating the pot roast, and like he's so fat and so jolly and so happy working as a postman. So before the movie, he gained a lot of weight. And as I was shooting this movie, he had to lose all of that weight. So this is like method acting. You know, and he lost like an incredible amount of weight, like a dangerous amount of weight. There's a W movie over here. There's excuses, man. It's excuses. Why are actors able to get fat and then lose all that weight in like 6 months to a year? I hope this motivates somebody. I'm not being mean. Oh, you got what? What is this? A buy? Nice. I'm still waiting for something to get my interest here on the 1 minute. I say 1 minute is just printing, but it's not really created anything too interesting for me yet. What is this propaganda, Josho? There's a fat gene, but it's so rare. Most of us fatties just need to do better. Oh, maybe there is, you know, because there's also that other gene where no matter how much you eat, you can't gain weight. Y'all ever seen that? Those people, they literally can eat so much, but they're never gaining weight. And actually, it's more of a medical condition that they need to eat. Otherwise, yeah, it's quite dangerous for them. So they're constantly eating just to survive, but they don't gain weight. I don't know, it's like, I think it's like worms or something, or maybe it's even a little bit more complicated than that. But there's this one guy who always appears on my TikTok, and man, this guy's so skinny and is always eating like 3 large pizzas with some other stuff over there, and it's insane. It is insane. I don't even know if food tastes good to him anymore. That is me. I don't have worms. Yeah, you got some people here who have like very fast metabolisms or something. They're kind of like the Flash. You know the Flash? That guy's got to eat like so many calories because he runs really fast. And if he doesn't eat a lot, then, you know, then he can die. That's what that reminds me of. There's an animal that eats like every 5 minutes. The depressed Homo sapien is that animal's name. I was like that. I was thinking maybe like this could start forming a consolidation here, but it's still not looking very clean. Let's see if I can get a quick move, like just a little quick scalp. I'm gonna experiment. me see if I can take another trade on stream. But only if something comes up. You know, I don't want to force a trade. I have a friend like that. He was always eating and always very low body fat. I've seen in repeat like a meal like 7 times. Then went to a bar, bought more stuff. He did shit a lot from times he goes to bathroom. Oh, he did shit a lot. I used to think he was always cool to eat. You know, when Fast and Furious came out. Tokyo Drift. This guy over here, at some point, I used to try and get something to eat, like to snack on. What was this guy's name again? He made eating look so cool. He was always eating something. Juan. What was his name again, chat? Juan? Something like that. OG, man. This guy, one of the best freaking actors of this whole franchise. Tokyo Drift actors. What the hell was his name? Han. Oh, Han. Yes, Han. His name was Han in the movie. What was Han eating in Tokyo Drift? What the hell is this? He was eating biscuits with a creamy milk filling. Was that what this guy was eating? I thought that was like some kind of chips or something. Yo, that's actually mad. Biscuits with a creamy milk filling. This guy was chowing these things like no tomorrow. How is he not fat? You know, like even when you watch these guys, like there's this guy called Mark Wiens, or you know, like these food bloggers. Man, I don't understand how these food bloggers are not fat. Like, do you guys know who Mark Wiens is? This guy eats so much, but he's literally having a 6-pack. You know, I wonder where he gets the time to. But you know what I think it is? I think this guy just doesn't eat. He only eats when he's on camera. That's the only way that I can make sense of this. So his job is to eat, so he only eats when he's recording. I think that's what he does. He only eats when he's recording, which is actually wild. Because you don't know what you're going to eat that day. I love his impressions. Man, I think this guy single-handedly created the, you know, the reactions when food bloggers go like, and stuff. Like, I think he's the guy who started that whole reaction thing. He's an OG food blogger. I think he's been doing YouTube for maybe like 15 years or something, you know. Hey, if you're from Kenya, this guy was in ISK as well. He used to go to ISK in Kenya. Mark Wiens. Which is basically it's an international American school. Nikocado avocado, yes, man. Even Nikocado avocado, insane. No, like honestly, it's insane. This guy, if y'all know who Nikocado avocado is, man, this guy literally pranked the internet. He pranked the internet by how fast Nikocado avocado. By how fast this guy started as a skinny guy, like he was very skinny, and then he gained so much weight, like disgustingly unhealthy amount of weight, like, but he was naturally skinny. And then I think, how long did he disappear for? Like a few months, like 6 months or something like that, and he came back completely different. Look at how much weight that he lost. Like, some people are just really good with gaining and then losing, gaining and losing, but you just gotta put the work in. Yeah, this is insane. At some point, I literally thought this guy was gonna die because of eating too much. Because it was like quite kind of abusive. He was abusing food basically. Then he came back super skinny. Look at this. Crazy. Crazy. He for sure had surgery. Yeah, then you got people like Drake. Yeah, you got people like Drake here who, instead of doing all the work, fuck it, I got all this money, I'm gonna give myself 6-packs. You got Drake over here. He surgically gave himself 6-packs, which is also wild. Because you know the idea here is like whenever you're working out and you got like a 6-pack like this, the rest of the body should follow. You know, like he doesn't have much of a chest here. Like he doesn't even have that vein. You know, you usually get that vein when you're working out, usually on your bicep, a small little vein. So even just the proportions of this, you know, it looks like you got these dents over here. It's like it's like a removing fat basically or something, I think. Moving fat to give yourself some abs. But you know, celebrities who get away with shit like this, if Drake is still making good music, people don't give a shit. Like if you're still making good music, you know, he just released that song Nokia, and which was kind of a banger. Like people can overlook this kind of stuff if you're still like, you know, making good music. So this guy is, yeah, that's quite funny. BBL Drizzy. Dude had more volatility than gold. Yeah, I don't know why people do this. It's like some kind of body dysmorphia or something. You know, also my girlfriend, like she always said, oh, I want to get a nose job. I'm like, if you get a nose job, that's just going to make whatever natural nose you have already look worse. It never looks better. We haven't yet gotten to the stage of plastic surgery that you can get a plastic surgery and that looks better. At least in my opinion, it always looks worse. I've never seen it look any better. What's this? Oh, he smoked, so that's why he sneaked all the time. Are you doing gym because you looking bigger? Yeah, I think it's good. Oh, you're asking me, am I doing gym because I look bigger? Yeah, I am trying to do gym. I am trying to do gym. I gotta do gym after this. I'm trying to make it part of my lifestyle, but it's, you know, it takes some rewiring. I'm always trying to do like something that pushes me a bit, like changes my just something that, you know, can elevate you a bit more. Like the biggest project you're ever gonna give yourself is trading. Trading is gonna be your biggest project, but once you finally find like some kind of routine, then you're obviously gonna look for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So right now it's kind of like gym. Been lazy for a long time just trading. And then the other thing was a YouTube channel. So I started the YouTube channel because I needed another challenge. So I started YouTube channeling. And now YouTube is going pretty good. So I want to focus now on gym. And last night I was contemplating getting a motorbike. I wanted to get into motocross. But at the same time I was thinking about it. And you know, the older that I get, I don't know if I want to give myself like additional risk. You know, that's like, it's an additional risk. Like even just getting a one for leisure, just driving on the road. At the same time, it's also quite risky. Like people who drive cars don't really respect people on motorbikes that much. So yeah, I'm slowly forgetting about getting myself a motorbike. But I really wanted it, but it's too risky. Just the same way I was telling Ricardo over here, because Ricardo does skydiving. I was like, man, I've always wanted to do skydiving, but the older that I'm getting now, it's getting too risky for me with my lack of experience doing that sort of thing. So yeah, chat, I'm thinking of maybe like a potential move here soon. I want to see how the candlesticks are going to behave. But it should be setting up a something soon. Do you agree this motorcycle thing is so dangerous? Yeah, I was contemplating so hard last night. Then I went on motorcycle videos of just driving in my country. Then I started seeing accidents. I was like, fuck that. I saw a guy ram into a car because, you know, he was on the right. He was going straight down the road. Okay, guys, I might be looking for a trade here. If it breaks these highs or it breaks these lows, I'm going to be looking for position. Want to see how price is going to break. I saw a guy ram into a car. It's like, no way, I'm not buying this thing. Because it doesn't matter how good of a driver you are. You always got to pay attention to how bad of a driver the other guy is. You know, they say it takes like what, 2 cars to make an accident? Usually also when you're driving a car, if you're behind a car, you're not looking at the car ahead of you. You're looking at the car ahead of the car that's ahead of you. Because you know the car that's ahead of the car that you're driving behind, that guy could fuck up and then you will be able to react a lot better than if you're just focusing on the hard stop the car in front of you might make. So you can anticipate it a bit better. But I think on a bike it's a bit wild. The 5-minute is breaking structure. Looks like a shotgun play there on the 5-minute. Just want to see what happens. You know, monitor it. How are the drivers where you live? Crazy. Think drivers everywhere are crazy. Anything can happen. What is this? Excuses, motorbike. I don't have a headset to have one. Push stuff too much. I lost many friends on bikes. Everyone has a story on people who gone in bikes. Yes, that's true. When I was a kid, we used to go on bikes a lot. And one time my friend, he hit a pole with my other friend and they both flew off the bike. And he needed surgery. And I could have easily been on that bike that day. So it's always been sketchy, you know, very sketchy. Very sketchy for me. Taught my friend how to ride a bike one time and he crashed it into my car. So, but like, I think it's like quite unpredictable. It's always like a bit sketchy. 15-minute don't have bottom wick. Yeah, I just want to see what happens here. I want to see how we break. No. Wait, so... See, stop loss here. We can do something like this. I want to try get like a shotgun entry basically on this candlestick. If it can re-break the highs, look for a way that I could get stuck into a buy. See, it's kind of struggling here a bit. So what I'm looking for 5 minute to flip, potentially fill this range on the left hand side. My brother-in-law took me into a lake. This continuous one is called What Did I Miss? Dun, 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 dun. There are those Chinese people who also does ASMR thing while eating a lot of food. Yes. Oh, it doesn't want to break the highs. It rather follows the trend to the downside. SMA 55 above, that was reaction from hitting it. Bro, I'm having a gold buy from 3306. Can you suggest how I should hold or exit? 3306? I mean, the question is, why would you be at a buy all the way up over there? 3306. This is Asia highs. You've been holding since the Asia high. Man, you're gonna need the daily candlestick to reflip in your favor. So it's quite a sticky one to be in. You know, you have to always, like, before you get into a trade, always look at where your stops are going to be. It doesn't make sense to get into a trade when you don't know where your stop loss is. So looking at this level over here, there's some range on the 5 to correct. Put the stops within this area. Want to see how we approach these highs by 30, well, that's 32.90. Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly. You got it. You got the reaction here, Ricardo. Wait, Anna, you got a motorbike. Yeah, I see you got the gear over here. So making too many excuses. But you gotta be careful. Like the last time I was on a motorbike, I was on holiday, and I was right behind my friend, and we just went into like a small, kind of like a small puddle. Yeah, it was like a muddy puddle, but the motorbike lost control. It was such a random thing. Did not expect it whatsoever. But the motorbike just started losing control, and I had to James Bond jump off of that thing. Like literally, I just had to jump off and let it go. It's like a rented motorbike, so you know, don't give a shit. But anyway, you know, like that's the thing. It's always so unpredictable. Even the slightest of things can just completely change if you're gonna crash or not. Yeah, James Bond jumped off that thing. Well, man, my friend, he loves it. He loves it. He was always talking about these. He wants to do like motorbike tour. You know, I think he just needs a buddy. He just needs a buddy. But a lot of my mates, we kind of like bikes. We all kind of like bikes, but we know how dangerous it is. Except this one guy. This one guy, man, he's crazy. He is insane. Like he's one of those speed junkies. Like he's a true motorbike type of guy, you know? He loves speed. Sometimes, man, I used to be with him. I would tell him like, bro, like slow down. Trying to get us killed. I don't know what it is, man. Once you're on a motorbike, you just feel like going, really flooring it, you know, pushing it. You would never survive in India. India probably has like one of the most congested roads. Probably wouldn't be nice. In India, what is it? It's more tuk-tuks. I think you guys have more tuk-tuks than motorbikes, right? Wow, look at this, man. So much volatility here on the 5 minute. I mean on the 1 minute. Why are candlesticks behaving like this? Oh, this is weird. This is weird. Why are candlesticks acting like this? Could that be a liquidity grab? Break of the highs? 5 minute to continue skyrocketing upwards? That's something I'm looking at potentially. You feel superhuman on a good bike. 160 miles per hour is free air is nice. In free air is nice. Oh, yeah. Could be a change of character on the 15. Bro, you have a different idea about India. We have good roads, but crazy people in traffic. Yeah, that's what I meant. It's congested. A lot of exactly, traffic, a lot of traffic. That's what I was thinking. Maybe a motorbike is not so, I don't know if it's efficient. I usually see more, I think, tuk-tuks. Tuk-tuk is a bit safer than a motorbike. Gold is just getting liquidity to go down. It's cooking something up here. It's in a consolidation. Right now, it's moving slightly sideways. Yeah, I'm a speed junkie. That's why I don't ride motorbike. Josh still has so much to do on this planet. It's talking about speed junkies and having so much to do on this planet. One thing that scared the living shit out of me was, I don't know if Tall Trader can relate to this or anybody German here, but there's this thing that they do where you get on like a sled. I went to this restaurant once in Germany where it's like you're gonna start up on the top of a hill, and the restaurant is down over here, correct? And you go on like this sled, and man, this sled goes so fucking fast, and you're going down a hill with like windy roads, and literally, if you know what you do, you can fly off that place and really injure yourself. And I don't know how this is such a normal thing that they don't even give training for, but you just sit on it, and then you're kind of supposed to control it. I think with your feet, you gotta like slow down with your feet and kind of control like how it turns like this, and you're going down a freaking hill. And at the same time, it's like icy. It's icy, so sometimes it's like hard to stop. And man, that was the most scariest thing I ever did, because you can legit injure yourself really bad. But for them, it just seems so normal. Everybody does it like it's such a normal thing. But I was like, man, I'm never doing that again. I still got a whole life ahead of me to live. I think I'm gonna try and find a picture of it. Summer seeds, yeah. Depends on the sled model. There are some you can't fall off. Yeah, I'm still looking to see if price can shoot up above this area. I'm looking for potential buy. Yeah, that was the wildest thing ever. I think I was too foreign because, you had all these older people, all these younger kids were all managing. I was literally fighting for my life just to get to the bottom of that of that hill. And you go fast sometimes, so you can't break enough in some corners. Like you literally smash into corners. Like that's what I was doing. I was smashing into corners because I couldn't stop in time. So that's the next stop for gold. Next stop, we got 15-minute, 5-minute range over here. You got a 5-minute range to fill. So I want to see how we're breaking now. It's being freaking volatile. Let's let me see. We got 34 seconds for candlestick here to close. I'm looking at this 5-minute area over here. It's flirting with this 5-minute zone. I want to fill some nice clean range over there. And at the same time, the 1 minute is sort of in this little sideways pattern right now. There's a lot of support at the lows. It has been trying to break this level for the last 18 hours. Have you covered DAX? Why is it pumping a lot? No, I don't trade DAX. I only trade gold. Would you say the 1 minute setup's messed up now? No, it's just not giving a commitment there. It just keeps rejecting. Just keeps rejecting this area. But it's hinting at some sort of like recovery. Do you see how Alex G trade? He don't trade gold. What does he trade? I have no idea what he trades. Hey guys, see you tomorrow. Thanks, Vic. Alright, check you later trading. It's backtesting time and pregnant wifey time. Alright, buddy. Enjoy, enjoy. Gold currency. Iris quad bikes down a mountain in Zate once. That was pretty sketchy. I did a jump at a crossroads, didn't even see the car coming, was about a foot away from being murked. Quads are fun, eh? If I'm on holiday, I'd much rather prefer a quad than a bike. Love quad bikes. My same friend who I'm telling you who really loves motorbikes. One time we were on this quad biking tour thing, and he was the only one to drive that thing into a ditch. You know, it just goes to show you the type of mentality that I think also these people who love motorbikes and speed they have. He's literally the only guy who drove into a ditch. You just have to have some kind of adrenaline for these for bikes, I suppose. People will really enjoy them. But Goldie's not giving me a commitment over here. I was hoping to get a buy, you know, if we can re-break these highs and get some volume to like push up above like 3290 area. But it seems to be really struggling at this point. 15-minute keeps like pulling down as well. 30-minute keeps breaking the highs, pulling down. The 5-minute as well. Nothing. What's happening in the market today? Well, we got the only thing we have scheduled is FOMC meeting minutes. That's the only thing we have scheduled for today. So besides that, price action wise, it's just kind of like, you know, we had a dump here from the Asia time. We've been seeing a little bit more of selling pressure overall. As you can see, since price action here on Tuesday, price has been predominantly moving down bearish. But I feel like a lot of hesitation, you know. Let me see these fundamentals again. You have to look at it from the perspective of what could be pushing price upwards fundamentally. You know, let me just see something. Investors are searching for the next gold. We're in an uncertain macroeconomic environment and rising. You know, normally an uncertain macroeconomic environment, it should have some gold appeal in there as well. Basically, I think like the daily, if you look at the daily time frame, you know, we still have some range to come down. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Like reading gold has honestly been very difficult this year. It's been doing the opposite of what we typically would be expecting price to be doing. Like when we're expecting it to move up, it's moving down. And yeah, I feel like just uncertainty in the market just makes it hard to read. Because at the same time, you see the way it's behaving here. Like if it breaks these highs, I'm actually expecting a big move upwards. Correct? But at the same time, I think like fundamentally, we can say there's more stuff leaning towards gold selling off because today is the end of that 90-day tariff deal, I think, yeah, that Trump had. It should be ending today here, July 9th. He's more in agreement with China about the tariffs that they're making. And I don't know, guys. Like, honestly, right now, I don't want to speculate. I just want to read price action because I feel like the more I'm trying to read what gold is doing, it's not been doing what it should be doing, fundamentally speaking. So I'm just going to avoid that. I'm going to avoid that for now and just focus on what it's currently doing right now, which I see it's accumulating. It's accumulating orders. I would still feel more comfortable with sells, however, because like the sells move a lot faster and we have been moving down. But at the same time, it's quite interesting. You know, the way it's behaving here, sometimes I see like very nice pops up when it hesitates like this. Because if it's hesitating to move down and we've already broken this highs multiple times, I feel like the next time we break it, it's going to pop up. Now we're going to see volume really come into the market the next time it breaks these highs. It's basically cooking. Let's just say gold is cooking right now. It's at a point A. It's about to distribute, chat. Like it's either going to be moving bullish or bearish. It's cooking. What website do I use for news? Forex Factory. Forex Factory and TradingView. Oh, and Instagram and Twitter. Can you please explain how do you see those wicks? It's cooking. That's the only way I can explain. It's cooking something right now. Because you know, like when you're trading on a 1 minute, it's kind of different from when you're trading the higher time frames. Because the higher time frames, usually if you're getting wicks like this, it's never really a good sign. But on the 1 minute time frames, it means something a bit different. It means something a bit different. Usually you can sometimes get very nice moves out of areas like this. Gold higher time frames are trending down. Yes. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, the trend is sell, but when you enter, you get whacked. Yep. You got slapped. There's a move that's gonna happen out of this region here. Slow hour, yes, pretty slow. Hourly over here, it's probably waiting for the hourly close since it's just wicking within this range. Got a support and you have a resistance. As nice as to make confluence here in the 1 minute. I think it's just gonna bounce around here for the next, like, I'm anticipating it's gonna bounce around here for the next 7 minutes. Are you still gonna take it on the wick break on the 1 minute? Yes, but I'm looking to be very cautious because of these pullbacks. I want to see how volume comes into that level. Now you're talking my language. I trade the 1 minute too. Nice one, Diego. I really do think it's waiting for this next hourly open. You're waiting for a retest? If it breaks above these highs, I would not be expecting a retest. But yeah, I think it's safe if you wait for a retest. Oh, now it's coming down. It's coming down town. Can it break these lows? Maybe it's gonna break these lows and sell off. Maybe that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna break these lows here and then sell off. I think that's a move. Got some time for a candlestick here to close. See, break of these lows. Stop above here. Now I just gotta wait. Because if it rejects these lows, then it's not gonna move down. But there's clean range on the left hand side for it to push down. Like the 5 minute basically looks really good. You can get a dump. Needs to move. Got about 5 more minutes for the next hourly open. Now we wait for the breakout, retest, and continuation. What direction are you looking at? Yeah, the structure is looking pretty nice right now. Create a nice little double bottom right here. Got 2 bottoms, got some resistance levels. It's looking pretty sideways. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. 5 minute will be reflipping from bullish. It will be reflipping here. As you guys can see, it's starting to reflip. 5 minutes starting to reflip. It's like it's retesting that range right now. Break out of that accumulation. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at as well. Because it's at a point A right now. It's about to move. It's about to distribute. Pretty solid accumulation too. I don't think anyone knows where it's going. Yes, nobody knows where it's going right now. Because it's moving sideways. Come on, dump it. But it's hesitating a lot. You see, this is what I don't like. These little breaks and then it's pulling back up. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Frankie, good morning. Good morning. There's a nice little SMA over there as well. Nice little SMA confluence for potential sell. Daily is down 0.40% right now. Clean range on the left-hand side. You know, as price is progressing, it's starting to look a little bit better. It's starting to look a little bit more clean. Yeah, it's got about like 1 more minute for the hourly open. So just as I figured, like price was ranging here waiting for that hourly open. That's what I expected. No. Right, new hourly open here in a few seconds. This should be actually be the candle that brings in some volatility. Oh, yeah, this is hourly open here. This is an hourly open volume that's coming in here now. See, what is it doing? And I gotta use the bathroom. But I think it's still, the thing is like it's about to move here, guys. It's about to move out of this range. It's about to move out of this range. It's about to break out of the accumulation. How's it gonna break? Can we move up? Do you have to re-break these highs? Looks like it's about to distribute. When I say commit, break above these highs. That's why I'm waiting for a commitment here. Alright, guys. So I got into a buy. That's my entry. All right, now I want to see this distribution. I want to see it push up. I don't hold somewhere around towards like 32, 32.92. 32.92.23. That's why I want to see price move up till. I think with that new hourly, we could get the push as well. This is a good one. Bring the W. Come on, pump it. First 5 minutes about to close. Just got a 5-minute closure there. Come on, run, Goldie. Dun, dun, dun.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Nice push, nice push. I'm going to put my stop loss or break even here, guys. Putting my stop loss or break even. Risk-free trade. Come on, Goldie. So I want to see this thing follow through nicely. You're expecting a rejection from that level, so hopefully you're wrong. Yeah, you know, it's filled the range there in the left-hand side. That's for sure. That's the thing that I'm seeing as well. Oh man, come on, Goldie. Really? Really, Goldie? So close to TP over here. Literally only needed to move one more extra pip. Damn. Yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm not playing with the market anymore. I'm not playing with the market anymore. Just making it too difficult. This is too difficult. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna head out here. You know, if you're still holding, it should be valid here as long as these lows don't get taken out. But yeah, for me, that's it. That's it. Try to give it a shot here. 1 pip towards take profit. Would have been a really nice profit as well. Want to kind of end the day with a bit like 1%. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm just gonna call this a break even here. I'm gonna call it a break even there. Alright guys, take care. Hope you all enjoyed the stream nonetheless, and I will see you tomorrow for the London session. Let's get it, boys. Adios.